कैसे बन सकते हैं आप एक वॉइस ओवर आर्टिस्ट और कैसे कमा सकते हैं ऑनलाइन पैसा। इस वीडियो में उस चीज के बारे में डिटेल में डिस्कशन होगा विद वन गेस्ट हु इज अ प्रो वॉइस ओवर आर्टिस्ट। हेलो एवरीवन, मैं हूं वकील पैसा वैसा से। अगर आपको मेकिंग मनी ऑनलाइन या फिर पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट रिलेटेड वीडियोस में इतना सा भी इंटरेस्टेड है तो सब्सक्राइब कर लेना पैसा वैसा को, क्योंकि ये आपकी जिंदगी का वन ऑफ दी बेस्ट डिसीजंस होने वाला है। और अगर आप लोगों ने अभी तक मुझे इंस्टाग्राम पे ट्विटर पे फॉलो नहीं करा तो प्लीज कर लीजिए, वो भी जस्ट इन केस आपने टेलीग्राम चैनल भी ज्वाइन नहीं करा है जहां पे मैं पेड कोर्स शेयर करता हूं जो एक्चुअली फ्री होते हैं लिमिटेड टाइम के लिए, तो ज्वाइन दैट एज वेल, लिंक इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बिलो। और इस वीडियो की बात करें तो हम बात करने वाले हैं वॉइस ओवर के बारे में, जहां पे आप वॉइस ओवर करके ऑनलाइन पैसे कमा सकते हैं। इट कैन बी फाइवर, इट कैन बी ऑफ फाइवर एज वेल, मतलब आप कहीं भी कर सकते हैं वॉइस ओवर। और इस चीज के लिए हमारे पास में आज के इस वीडियो में एक गेस्ट जो कि एक प्रो वॉइस ओवर आर्टिस्ट हैं, जिनसे हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं उन सभी चीजों के बारे में जो आपको जानना चाहिए। तो अगर आप लोगों को इस चीज में इतना सा भी इंटरेस्ट है तो मेक श्योर करना कि आप इस वीडियो को पूरा देखें। प्रीटी श्योर आप लोगों के लिए काफी इंफॉर्मेटिव वीडियो होने वाला है। तो अब चलते हैं हमारे गेस्ट के पास। सो हु आर यू?
My name is Vandana Bhalla. I'm originally from Pune and I'm 32 years old. And yeah, I'm a professional voiceover artist,
Okay, great.
amongst other things.
So, since we are doing the entire video on you being a pro voiceover artist, so I just have some questions which I actually prepared, and I'm just quickly going to ask
Okay.
you one by one. So, the first question is, what kind of voiceovers do you do?
So I do everything from IVR, which is interactive voice recordings for phones. I do advertising, audiobooks, e-learning modules. So I've worked with a bunch of apps also, and we do like corporate profiles, corporate presentations, and then background voice for animated videos, for animation cartoons.
So, mostly
and
everything except movies.
Yeah, whatever I can get my hands on. Yeah.
So, have you done voiceover for any movies as well?
No, not
Okay,
so far.
not yet.
No,
Not
I mean,
yet.
not that I know of. Yeah.
Okay. So, who are your clients?
So some of my regular clients, I work with a bunch of NGOs. So I try to do a lot of NGO work. I have done a couple of audiobooks, but my main clients as such would be Oswald Books.
Okay.
I work with them a lot. There's a couple of real estate agencies who get in touch with me for all of their new projects. And then builders like MR from Dubai, I've worked with them a couple of times. And
so mostly real estate and maybe say people from
Oswald Books would be my biggest
publishers,
client. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you start doing voiceovers?
I started just fooling around with voiceovers about 4 years ago at my last job, where I was a digital content manager at a media firm. And that's where I started, just because there was no one else to do the client's voiceover. I stepped in and I would do it. And then after that job ended and I decided not to have a 9 to 5, I tried to like build my voiceover portfolio. And then I found Fiverr, which made my life much, much simpler. So yeah, I've only been a voiceover artist for actually 2 years now, professionally, but I've done a lot of stuff before that.
Oh yeah, so since you're talking about Fiverr, so just to tell you, these guys, I actually contacted Vandana over Fiverr. That's where I actually found her.
Ames Global has a lot to offer for all age groups. You can try your skills in movie making. Learn to build on your leadership skills.
And as far as I remember, I guess you created your Fiverr account in January 2019.
Correct, yeah.
So how many gigs have you completed so far?
Orders is what we call it on Fiverr. Yeah. And I've completed about 230 since 230. Then.
Yeah. And you have two gigs on your profile, right?
Yes, 2 active gigs on my profile, yeah.
So never thought of creating all 7?
Never thought of?
Never thought of creating all 7 free gigs. I guess you're level 2 right now. So you are entitled to create 9 gigs in total, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just never saw the point really in like
Uh-huh.
spreading out and like I've noticed how other people tend to do that. They write that voiceovers for animation
Yeah.
or voiceovers for real estate. I just never saw the point in doing that, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, maybe I should at some
Yeah.
point like branch out and make specific gigs. I wonder how much that would help. Not sure actually.
That will. That will.
Hmm.
So
Oh
we
yeah, it
actually,
does.
so just off topic. So I also did one series on Fiverr, which is called Be a
Oh
Fiverr Pro.
cool.
I also used to be one of the Fiverr sellers years back.
Okay.
I did it for like 3 years. I used to make something of your interest, mixtape covers.
Oh
So
cool.
in 3 years,
Wow.
I made approximately, I guess, 2,400 something mixtape covers.
Oh wow.
And this
Okay.
was from 2009 to 2012.
All right. That's a
Way back,
while ago.
way back. Yeah, way
Wow.
back. So yeah, so this
I need
helps.
to
So take
turn
advantage
around
of
to
all the
that.
9 gigs.
Okay, cool. Noted. I'll do that. Any
Next
other tips?
question.
Please
Yeah, so yeah,
share.
I'll be giving you a lot of other tips as well.
Oh,
But
cool.
then first, let these
Hmm.
guys have like all the
Huh.
intakes
Yeah.
first, and then we can definitely discuss because pretty sure we'll be connected after this one as well.
Sure.
Fourth question for you is what equipment did you use in the beginning and what are you using
Hmm.
right now? Like, don't tell me like the exact this thing. It might be too complicated for a lot of people, like, but
Hmm.
something which might make sense to layman's, I would say.
Hmm. So the thing is that I am also an audio engineer.
Mhm.
I am a trained audio engineer actually. So that's why voiceovers also made sense for me because I already was really comfortable with the audio recording environments and the equipment and the softwares required. So I pretty much started on pro equipment straight off the bat, and I think that's why my response has been so great on Fiverr for my
Uh-huh.
work is because of that. So I have a semi-treated room in my home where I live in Pune. I'm currently traveling, and I've got my setup here with me. In Pune, I have a sound card. I have 2 or 3 mics, and I have 2 or 3 different stands. Depending on like how much work it is, I
Mhm.
prefer to sit down and stand up, and these are the 3 basics I would say. I mean, of course, the software I have is also purchased,
Mhm.
but that also ties into my other audio production work that I do, and as a musician also. So, yeah, currently, do you want to know what my current setup is right now?
Yeah, I would love to know that.
I've tried a bunch of condenser microphones also thinking I'd get a better quality out of that,
Mhm.
but that backfired a little bit because in a home studio setup, condenser microphones pick up everything. They are super sensitive
Yeah,
microphones.
yeah.
So without having a room that has been acoustically treated
Uh-huh.
and soundproof, there's no point using one of those. So I've actually been using an SM58 Shure microphone,
Mhm.
which is the industry standard for live gigs and things like that. It's a not so expensive Tagda mic.
Uh-huh.
So this is the one that I travel with also, and I make sure I have a pop filter on it always. And my sound card that I have here is the Native Instruments Complete Audio 6. Is the
Okay.
one that I use.
Okay.
Hmm.
So do you think maybe say someone can actually start with something too basic, like maybe say for example a Zoom H1 or a Samsung Go, something which is like in between 4 to 6,000 rupees. Can people start that?
Oh, for sure. In fact, some of the audio recording apps that you have on
Uh-huh.
phones nowadays
Uh-huh.
end up giving you a really good quality of recording.
So
The
do
only
you know any such app?
I don't know which is the one that I use. I'd have to check.
Uh-huh.
But it's like an HD Recorder Pro. I think
Okay,
that's what
so
it's called.
I am actually going to leave that name here so people can actually
Okay,
see. So you can
sure.
check that later and let me know. So just to
Yeah,
make sure that people actually know about that amazing application which you're actually recommending. So people can actually
right.
start with something which is as basic as maybe say Samsung Go or maybe say H1.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. There's so many mics in on Amazon also that yeah, the really spoiled for choice for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
So the next question, what do you think might be the overall expenses for a professional voiceover artist?
Mm, I think
Like something which is
it
not too much of this thing, the equipment.
the equipment.
Yeah.
Mm, it all really depends on whether you can find yourself a quiet spot to work out of and how
Okay.
quiet that spot is.
So
I would say more importantly, like if you have a room where you can even shut shut the windows and pull the curtains and it's relatively quiet, that's good. But what I would be more, what I would definitely want to spend money on would be the audio production software. I think that's worth purchasing.
So
But
what is the software
again,
you're
it
using right now?
level you are at. I use Logic and I use Ableton. I
So
use these two.
can people get this done on Audacity?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But you do need a certain amount of audio production know-how to make it sound like good. And of course, you're going to make mistakes, so you have to keep editing. And it's really easy to figure it out, but you have to have those skills. I think that's more important than the actual like mic that you're using and stuff, because on production softwares you can do a lot of stuff to voices.
Sixth question. I know it's a bit more sensitive question, but then just feel free to say no. How much do you earn approximately in a month?
So yeah, that is a little bit of a sensitive question.
But
But
just
I
give
feel
like
like
the average or the approximate, or maybe say a round figure. If you're comfortable.
Yeah, sure. It varies every month. Like I'll give you a number that not my clients off Fiverr, but basically off Fiverr, I make an average of between $500 to $1,000 in a month.
Okay. And on Fiverr?
No, that is on Fiverr.
Okay, on Fiverr.
Off Fiverr, yeah, off Fiverr is too like I can't even generalize that because it's so on and off.
Yeah. Oh, I remember you mentioned, so 90% of your voiceover work comes from Fiverr and 10% is off Fiverr.
Correct, yeah.
So we can take maybe say an average of around something between 500 to 1,000 like you mentioned. So this is like your range.
Yeah, pretty much. If there's a bad month on Fiverr, then yeah, that's how it goes. There are bad months on Fiverr also.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Seventh question. Okay, how do you get work? You already mentioned. So it's Fiverr. So do you do maybe say anything to promote your Fiverr gigs, or maybe say when you started, did you do anything to promote your gigs?
Honestly, no, I didn't really do anything to promote my gigs. Fiverr has recently started a promotion on the website itself. They allow you to promote your gigs, and that's the only promotion I've really done. And on LinkedIn, I have listed myself on LinkedIn, and a couple of projects that I was particularly proud of, like this United Nations project that I worked on. I made it a point to post about that on my Instagram, but in my Facebook. But I don't think that led to any traction as such. That was just a personal
but then
milestone.
This thing, Fiverr promotion thing, like not really sure if in case maybe say you are updated on this. So this is applicable only for level 2 sellers now. Initially, it was applicable for level 1s as well, but they recently made the change last month.
Oh, yeah. So I never got that option as a level 1 seller. So I was wondering how come suddenly it showed up. But yeah, I've been using it.
So mostly you did like no promotions. It was all organic for you.
Yeah, it was.
That's great. That's great. And last question, number 8. Any tips for people who are actually thinking to start doing voiceovers? Be it like Fiverr, maybe say something off Fiverr.
I'm a big believer that if your work is good, it speaks for itself, and like then it leads to return clients and it leads to happy customers. So and I really get a kick out of seeing all my ratings at like 100% and everything at 5-star. It gives me a real pleasure. But that's why I like a platform like Fiverr, because it takes care of all those aspects of how you're interacting with your client. Are you being, have you made them feel comfortable? And if a client gives me a lower rating, I always make it a point to ask them why, like politely. I always ask like why, what happened, what went wrong, and then I implement those changes. So of course, as just being a seller, it works the same way on the virtual platform as it would in like reality. So I really, it's always a good idea to be extremely proactive with your clients, and I think they tend to like that someone's really getting on board with the project. So that's one tip for sure. Second would be to get some amount of audio production knowledge in. and which really doesn't cost much, and it's very easy to get access to this information online nowadays. So at least learn how to edit and clean up audio files on your own, and I think that's a huge plus. Other than that, it's just talking, and then hopefully the clients that like your voice and like your tone come back to you. But I do think what sets me apart is the quality of production, and I do a lot of stuff to cheat, like making it sound good.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to do it also. So, but I do know that sets me apart from other sellers on Fiverr.
Amazing. So these are some wonderful tips, and thank you very much, Vandana, for sharing like all these information with people. And we definitely loved having you. And if in case any of you, like all the people who are actually watching, if in case you guys have any questions which you would want me to ask Vandana, like something too technical which I cannot answer, you can always leave that in the comment section below, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna disturb Vandana over emails and ask her to answer those questions. And I'm hopeful that Vandana will help you. तो ये थी वंदना जी जिन्होंने हमारे साथ में कुछ अमेजिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन शेयर करी. तो आई वुड अगेन वांट टू थैंक वंदना जी फॉर शेयरिंग ऑल दिस इन्फॉर्मेशन जो आप लोगों के लिए काफी हेल्पफुल होता है. तो लाइक जरूर कर देना. तो इस वीडियो में सिर्फ इतना ही. मैं आशा करता हूं आपको वीडियो पसंद आता तो गिव दिस वीडियो बिग थम्स अप, और जाने के पहले सब्सक्राइब जरूर कर देना चैनल को, क्योंकि जिंदगी में पैसा वैसा बहुत आएगा, उसके लिए आपका और मेरा साथ जरूरी है, और उस साथ के लिए चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना जरूरी. तो वो कर लेना. बाकी मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए टेक केयर.